Madam Speaker, the Republicans ran on a jobs agenda, but so far the Congress, they have not done one thing to help Americans find jobs. For 14 weeks, they have been running the House with not one mention of jobs. The Republicans have put their budget proposal out now, and now we have their real agenda. A radically ideological plan to protect giveaways to corporations and to attack the elderly, the poor, women, and children of the country. Reaganomics drove this country to the brink of bankruptcy in the 1980s. Reaganomics drove the world economy to the brink again in the Bush years, and now the Republicans are trying for a third time to impose their intolerance and everyone for themselves economics on the American people. We need to be fiscally responsible. I think there are things moderate Republicans and Democrats can agree on. But the Republican plan is to dismantle the social safety net of this country. This is a debate we should have. Republicans often chuckle that winning at politics is worth the cost to their conscience of being straight with the public. I think we need to let citizens come to their own conclusions by giving them some facts. And here are some indisputable facts about the Republican budget plan. First, the Republican budget has mostly fictitious numbers. The media has picked up on the Republican number of $6 trillion in savings, like catnip. But the Republicans made up most of the numbers of the plan to get there. To create this big number, the Republicans ignored the Congressional Budget Office. That's quite a strategy. If the nonpartisan budget scorekeepers don't say what the Republicans want, the Republicans just ignore it and make up their own numbers. Secondly, the Republicans' answer to the people is the need to dismantle Medicaid and leave health care for the poor to the states. The Republicans will drop millions of low-income people, children, seniors, disabled, and pregnant women off their rolls. Not only that, those patients that are left on the rolls will get a different kind of care from state to state. And some of that care is very bare bones. You shouldn't have to care about where you live if you're poor, elderly, or a child in this country. Some states you don't want to live in. Third, the Republican plan does nothing, not one thing, about the hundreds of billions of dollars of tax breaks American people give corporations every single year. The Republican plan even cuts more for the super rich in this country. Republicans say they don't like to pick winners and losers, but they pick winners and losers all the time when they give money to oil companies and Wall Street and then push the disabled people living into poverty off the Medicaid health insurance. And the Republican Party does nothing, not one thing, about the defense budget. Iraq is winding down. Afghanistan is winding down. Libya will be over shortly. But they don't take one thin dime out of the defense budget. They can't find anything to save any place. Now, the American people need to know the facts. The fact is that if we restored the fair Clinton-era tax rates, what we had in effect before 2000, and kept all other spending at the same point, our deficit drops by 2/3. That's where we are today. In 10 years, it drops by 2/3. That's a simple plan that is very doable without destroying the safety net in this country, without going after all the poor and the dispossessed in this country. We still have work to lower the deficit even more. We need the right priorities, and the right priorities should be figuring out more ways to save on health care spending. We spend too much for too little results. If we don't deal with health care costs, this deficit is going to be very tough to deal with. But the Republican plan is to demonize poor people and union workers. Take a good look at Wisconsin. You'd think all the problem in Wisconsin was because of school teachers. Now, that blaming everyone else for the economic disaster is simply to avoid the admission of what they've done. The Republicans take zero responsibility for their disastrous policies and then say the situation they created is the reason why we need to implement every form of radically failed philosophy. It's cynical, it's ugly policies, And it's the Republican strategy. Consider what they're doing to seniors. They're saying to seniors, now you have a set of guaranteed benefits. We're going to take it away and give you a voucher. Go look for some health insurance.
The gentleman's time has expired.
I yield back the balance of my time.